Coming off the 2024 election victory, the administration entered its second term with a mandate and massive political momentum. The coalition held together, and the path forward seemed clear. But that political momentum collided quickly with severe economic reality. Look at the immediate pain at the pump facing ordinary citizens, with supreme fuel hitting nearly $8 a gallon. Compounding the economic strain is sudden domestic unrest. New foreign policy conflicts have drawn thousands into the streets, demanding an end to military deployments. This line graph tracks how these combined crises have impacted the administration's standing. That initial momentum has vanished, driving the president's overall approval rating down to 37%. Before we break down the specific data behind this collapse, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss our deep dives into the numbers shaping our world. To understand why more Americans now lack confidence in the president than support him, we have to look past the daily noise of Washington politics and examine two specific, real-world catalysts. The administration's primary domestic achievement so far is the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. This legislation was designed to satisfy the core base, delivering on long-standing promises of deep tax cuts for individuals and corporations, alongside massive increases in border security funding. Yet, those legislative victories mean very little to consumers dealing with the immediate, compounding effects of inflation. A tax cut is entirely offset by the daily reality of paying significantly more for groceries and fuel. This bar chart visualizes new NBC polling data capturing the economic backlash. 40% of Americans report their personal finances are worse today than a year ago. Expanding this timeline shows clear context. This is the highest level of negative economic sentiment recorded this term. Passing major legislation fails to secure voter approval if the working-class base feels noticeably poorer every time they open their wallets. The economic strain is paired with a massive foreign policy pivot. A central pillar of the president's platform was the explicit promise to avoid entangling the United States in new, costly foreign conflicts. The active deployment of troops and military resources into the Iran war directly contradicts that stance. This donut chart shows the overwhelming public rejection of that decision. Currently, 67% of adults disapprove of the administration's handling of the conflict. Breaking down this opposition reveals a harsher reality. A full 54% of Americans fall into the strongly disapprove category. For historical context, it took George W. Bush 2 years of fighting in Iraq to lose the support of 2/3 of the American public. This administration reached that same level of disapproval in less than 2 months. Initiating an unpopular foreign war depresses poll numbers, while breaking the ideological trust of the isolationist voters who built the 2024 coalition. So if the national sentiment is turning against the White House, who exactly is abandoning the tent? This multi-line graph tracks the 3 key swing demographics that secured the 2024 victory. Support from independents, young voters, and Hispanics have all converged in a severe downward trend, hovering right around the 29 to 30% mark. But the most alarming demographic shift is occurring deep inside the administration's own conservative base. Look at the data for young Republicans. We are seeing an extreme 76% disapproval rate among Republican voters aged 18 to 29. The administration's current trajectory alienates moderate swing voters while actively hemorrhaging the future foundation of its own party. This 37% approval rating is a ticking clock for the legislature. To understand the baseline for congressional losses, we have to look back at the historical precedent of the 2018 midterm elections. In 2018, the president's 40% approval rating correlated directly to a catastrophic loss of 40 House seats. Today, that rating is even lower at 37%, and the generic ballot favors Democrats by 5 points. Unless the White House can reconcile the crushing realities of inflation and an unpopular war, the upcoming midterm election will cease to be a standard political race. It will become a devastating referendum on the administration.